Welcome everybody to another horror movie review here at HTGS Reviews. I, of course, am your host, Rob Coakley, joined as always by Dave Wilkins.
Hello, Rob Coakley.
And Jesse Wilkins.
Hi there.
And today we are reviewing the movie Y2K, which I believe came out right at the tail end of 2024. One of the movies that I was a little bit intrigued by, so I'm glad we're getting to it. But as always, before we jump into our review, I don't know what that was, of this movie, Dave is going to give us a synopsis. Don't do whatever I just did, Dave. Just
don't worry.
Be better, I guess.
Y2K 2024, directed by Kyle Mooney. This is an A24 movie. On the last night of 1999, two high school juniors crash a New Year's Eve party only to find themselves fighting for their lives when the terror of Y2K becomes a reality and all machines rise up against humanity. So this kind of felt a little bit like the Terminator or the Matrix a little bit with the direction that they were trying to take this movie, at least with the idea of machines rising up against humans. And you
didn't mention the right movie at all. This is
the correct movie is Superbad.
No, this is Maximum Overdrive.
Yeah, that one also, sure. There's a lot of movies that this we'll say drew inspiration from, and it was absolutely not like any of these movies in execution. Nor do I think they were trying. I don't think they were trying to be The Matrix. I don't think they were trying to be Terminator or Maximum Overdrive.
They were trying to be Superbad.
They might have been
trying to be Maximum Overdrive. It's Maximum Overdrive / Superbad.
Sure. Whatever it was, it was not well executed. This movie, it was mostly negatives for me, and it's really poorly acted, possibly intentionally poorly acted. I don't know if something's poorly acted, even if it's intentional. Sometimes, like, why just act? It's a movie. I don't know. It was trying to be tropey. They were trying to poke fun at, the millennials when we were in high school, and it just didn't feel like it didn't. None of these characters felt like they were real 1999 millennials. It just felt like they were caricatures of what Generation Z might think of 1999 millennials were like, and it didn't feel authentic. It was where they were trying to be funny. A lot of it was not funny. It was just cringy. A lot of really bad dialogue, a lot of really bad writing. I have a couple of positives, but mostly I really just didn't like this movie. I thought it was paced horribly. I thought I won't steamroll, but we can get into all the negatives. But there were two things that I did like about this movie, particularly. And one of them was like a sort of like a surprise reveal at the end, and the other one was I really enjoyed the machines killing the people. I thought it was fun.
Well, that's where it goes back to Maximum Overdrive. When you rewatch Maximum Overdrive, now it's just to watch the machines kill the people in that movie, because it wasn't a good movie,
right?
Then, I mean, but the problem is I don't think there's like an iconic kill in this movie, like to me in Maximum Overdrive, and I'm just gonna keep comparing it to that movie because it's just the same idea. It's the machines come to life and kill people. The soda machine killing the coach in Maximum Overdrive is still one of the funniest scenes I've ever seen in a movie. We're just sitting there getting pelted by cans and just getting welted in the face by soda cans. It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I like some of the stuff in this movie. I think so I agree with you that the characters don't fully feel like kids. Like, this is when we grew up. Let's just face it. This was our childhood. We were there for all this. We knew what kids acted like then. They used some lingo in this movie that I hadn't heard in a long time, though, so I'll give them that. I was like, oh shit, I forgot that we used to say that.
Yeah.
There's a few things like that. But I think that's part of the problem of this movie too, is this movie is like you had to be born between 1979 and 1989 to even remotely find anything redeeming about this movie, in my opinion. I don't
And
think
I
it's
was right in the middle of that, and I didn't really find any of it redeeming, except for the one positive I have that I haven't mentioned yet.
yeah, but that's my point. It's like it's made for people in a 10-year window, and you're not like I don't think anyone born after that is going to care about it. Nobody born before about it is going to care about it. I mean, it's just it's a weird movie in that aspect that the audience is really it's really made for like just this like it's like a time box window of when you were born to watch this movie. And like you said, we're right in the middle of it, and it was fine. Like,
Yeah, the director made it for himself, basically.
yeah,
Kyle
yeah,
Mooney he's our age, Rob. So like
yeah,
he made it for himself. This surprised me that it was an A24 movie. This did not feel like an A24 movie at all.
right. Well, I mean, Kyle Mooney was on Saturday Night Live, right? So he has some stroke, and he probably wanted to get this movie made. And A24 was like, let's try something different. And I don't think they should have called this Y2K. They should have called, oh, I know that kid from another movie, because that's what I was thinking the entire time.
Yeah.
Every single character that popped up on screen, I was like, oh, that's the kid from It. That's the kid from Deadpool 2. That's the kid from Stranger Things. And this is the kid. That's Snow White. And like it's
Yeah, so what you're doing is what I was doing, except I couldn't name what the people were from. I was like, that's that. I've seen that actor somewhere. I've seen her somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. So I don't know. This movie definitely didn't do it for me. Jesse?
Yeah, I mean they tried. There were some laughable moments in this. It was like I keep mentioning Superbad. It was like a way worse version of Superbad for the first half of this movie. The same exact plot. You know, like these kids, they're doing what high school dudes do. You know, they're talking about which girls they want to, smooch and things like that. And I liked the constant freestyle battles that were all really bad. That took us back to our childhood. But like it was a way worse Superbad for a long time here. And I liked the Australian kid. I thought that he was a good character, but you even have that same dynamic with like one big kid and his skinny friend. It just the whole movie was just kind of cringy, and it wasn't paced well at all. The best part of this movie was the Fred Durst reveal.
Yeah. That was my only positive.
I was like, who is going to be behind this curtain? And of course, it's Fred Durst. I thought that was funny, and I liked the when he comes out, he's like, going to do a surprise performance. Everyone's like, "You suck, Fred Durst!" Like everyone's mad, but then he sang his song and got everybody. I thought that was, yeah, they kind of dragged that scene out a little bit, but so first half of the movie was a worse Superbad, and second half of this movie was a really long Limp Bizkit music video. So it was, like that's what you had here. You had some kind of fun kills. The idea of like the machines being, like they were kind of like putting themselves together as one and becoming killing machines, and just the another movie where robots are taking over. But it was funny. The panic was real. We were there at the turn of the century with Y2K, and some people were pretty worried about it. There's some people that took it really seriously, and they had like Y2K kits that they sold online with like survival items and how to battle your computer when it tries to kill you and all this kind of crap. And of course, I mean the spoiler on New Year's was in other time zones. It was already New Year, like the New Year had already come, and we already knew that nothing was happening anywhere else. So by the time 12 o'clock hit in Eastern time, it was spoiled. By the way, speaking of spoilers, we're going to spoil this movie. I don't know if we mentioned that. We do it every single horror movie review. So if this is your first horror movie review listening to, you're going to wonder to yourself first, is this even a horror movie? Which it kind of is.
It is. Yeah, I'd classify it as horror. It was going to be when we had the first. I didn't know what this movie was going to be about. By the way, I pulled it up and I was like, well, I guess we'll see how this goes. And then they had the first kill, and I was like, oh, it's another stupid teen slasher. And I wanted to just shut it off, but then it wasn't. And it was like that scene where the robot started killing people. I literally thought this was just going to be a full hour of, because I was like, there's so many kids in this house. This is going to be a full hour of just machines killing people. I was like, and it's going to be awesome. But it wasn't that. But do you guys remember like the actual Y2K panic and the reason why everyone was so scared? It wasn't like we thought machines were going to like kill us. But you remember the actual scare, like what the actual problem was?
It was
Vaguely
everything was
that
going to
everything.
turn to zeros and ones and just basically shut off, all the banking and everything that had
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's because when they started it, they put all the dates on, month, day, year, right? Instead of year. So instead of 1999, it was just 99. So it's like they didn't have the foresight, which was crazy because like if all of this probably started in at least like the 60s or something, or the 70s, whatever. But like it's like, dude, that's gonna run out in not that long. So
Yeah.
like, but it didn't happen obviously. But that was kind of a legitimate. If we basically lose the whole electrical grid or whatever, that's scary. But
Hey, listen, if we didn't have Y2K, then we wouldn't have Y2J.
mhm.
And as we know, we are big fans and friends of Chris Jericho, and he had the foresight he saw one of those countdown clocks, right? Like that, because people had the countdown to Y2K clocks,
Mhm.
and he based his whole character on that. And people still call him Y2J to this day. So thanks for that.
Yeah, long time ago. But this movie, so my big positive was the Fred Durst reveal, and Wes Borland too. Wes Borland was also in this, which was kind of fun. He's the Limp Bizkit's guitarist.
For that reveal, what I like about that reveal, I thought they played a lot. They were leaning into the Limp Bizkit stuff a lot throughout it. So I didn't know if they were going to show up, but once we were getting a reveal, I had a feeling it was going to be Fred Durst.
I recognize his voice.
Yeah. I like that it wasn't just a quick cameo. Like once he was in the movie, he was just in the movie. I thought that was pretty
I loved
cool.
it. I also loved when he steps out and they're like, Fred Durst, you look like shit. Because obviously it's Fred Durst today playing Fred Durst from 25 years ago.
Yeah.
That was funny. And yeah, I thought that's, like probably a full point and a half up because I thought that was really funny. And he was a good sport for doing this. I mean, he got paid, I'm sure, but like it's cool, because like rock stars don't do stuff like that because they'll be considered sellouts. But his whole shtick and Limp Bizkit's whole shtick, even with their album in 2021, was like leaning into like, yeah, dude, we suck. You're gonna buy our fucking albums. Like I think the album was their latest album was called Still Sucks.
Yeah.
So they lean into it, so it's fun and I like it.
He also directed one of the worst movies of all time. We might have to watch that at some point.
What did he direct?
Oh my God, I'll pull up the name of it, but it's a movie with Travolta, and it is, I've only seen clips of it.
Fred Durst directed it.
Oh yeah. Well, keep talking and I'll look it up.
This is what you get when you have just some punk from Jacksonville, Florida, who just all of a sudden has $200 million out of nowhere because he just went multi-platinum, just like that, and was just immediately one of the biggest bands in the world for a while. And then he's, making movies with John Travolta. Like he's like, you're just a white rapper, dude, who got famous. Like, obviously you're not going to go direct a kick-ass movie.
But I'm just more surprised that Travolta took that movie.
Travolta had a rough patch. And if it wasn't for Pulp Fiction, we probably wouldn't have heard from Travolta. Like his career was over.
This movie came out in 2019. We might have to watch it because I've seen some, you could just look at the cover of it and see that it's going to be really bad, but this is what it looks like here. The Fanatic. Yeah,
it is by Fred Durst, really?
Yeah.
Horror? Oh, we can review it. It's horror action. Let's do it.
That'll be on our next movie.
Let's do it right now instead.
Are you reading that little clip?
No.
That it earned $3,000 on its opening day.
That sucks. Is that a clip of John Travolta strangling Justin Timberlake? Oh man. Yeah, you gotta watch that. I might watch that later tonight.
Yeah, maybe. All right, well, let's just call it. That'll be our next movie we review next week.
All right, fine.
We'll just review that next. But
and then after that, we have to review a good movie because it's been a very long time.
We like review. Well, we need to review a very bad movie. This one was middling to me. We'll see when we get the scores.
The only thing I liked was the Fred Durst reveal. That was it. Some of the kills were fine, but dude, you guys keep saying like some of it was funny and some of it was whatever. Like, dude, none of the characters were likable, and none of it was funny except for the Fred Durst reveal. Nothing was funny. It was all just like trying too hard to be funny and just missing. Like, did you realize what was funny?
So I liked the kill where he's on the skateboard and he goes to grind the
Okay.
rail and he smashes his head. I thought that was actually
that was hilarious, and that was my least favorite character in the movie. Yes, I concede that was hilarious.
Now
I thought the scene where they're in the porta potty like sliding down the hill, and like that was the time that he was going to go in for the kiss. I actually laughed at that. I was like, this is an absolutely ridiculous scenario, and I thought that one hit. But I think you're right. Most of these were like, oh, you want me to laugh at that joke now? Like one of those.
That's how I felt in that porta potty scene. It was like, it's just like, and if I feel like if the rest of the movie was less silly, then that scene might have been more like impactful in a comedic way. But because it was just more like, yeah, dude, I get it. You want me to think this is funny. Like it could be, but I just thought it wasn't in the whole, just every step of the way.
I think the worst scene for that was when the stoner was getting ready to fight the robot and he's like eating the pills out of the bags.
It was mushrooms, I thought, right?
I thought it was like a bunch of pills and like half of them fell to the ground. It might have been mushrooms mixed in there as well. But like that scene felt like it was too long. Like I'm like,
it was too long. It was stupid. And like you just ingested a bunch of drugs. Like they're not going to kick in for an hour. What?
Right.
Yeah.
I believe the stoner was the director, if I'm not wrong about that.
You might be right about that. Yeah.
Yeah. They might have looked like Kyle Mooney. But yeah, I thought that scene was.
It was stupid.
Stupid.
The character was stupid. The death was stupid. The movie was really dumb, and it was the pacing was bad because it was a 90-minute movie, and I kept checking the time, like, dude, how the fuck is there still 45 minutes left of this movie? Like, what in the world? And I don't know if it was just because I wasn't into it, but it felt poorly paced. I think that one major negative about a lot of A24 movies is they're all, with a few exceptions, they're pretty much all really poorly paced.
And
I don't know if that's just because A24 is like, you have to drag this out as long as possible, or if it's just a weird association that I've made in my head, but I don't know.
I have two more positives about this movie because I don't think it was like a great movie by any means, and it's hard for me. It would be like a hard movie to ever recommend. You said you don't like any of the characters. I thought they really nailed one character. Maybe I'm the only one who knew someone like this, but I feel like we all did growing up. The kid that only listened to underground rap.
Oh yeah.
But then he turned out that he listened to all the mainstream rap anyways and knew it all. That kid existed, I feel like, at every single high school. And I thought that kid nailed that performance like perfectly.
Yeah, maybe he still wasn't likable. The character.
I'm not saying he was likable. I'm just saying that he wasn't supposed to be likable. Like, we hated that kid.
Yeah, but I feel like he was also, maybe, I don't know, maybe it was well done, but I mean, it's just tough too. If you have a character who your intention is for them to be not likable and they are not likable, and then they're mixed in with a bunch of characters who are supposed to be likable, but they're not likable, it kind of gets lost, right? It's like, they're just all unlikable. You could say the same thing for the kid that was on the rollerblades who died by smacking his head trying to do a rollerblade grind.
Yeah.
He was unlikable, but he was obviously intended to be not likable. So maybe he nailed it. I don't know. It was just like when you have a couple of them sprinkled in with a bunch of definitely unlikable characters, including all of the main characters, it's like you lose them. You know,
I'm just stating that he reminded me like of people that we knew growing up. Like it just like we all knew that kid that was like, I only listen. What do you mean you listen to Eminem? I only listen to Lords of the Underground.
Yeah.
And only their first 2 CDs.
Right.
Like we all do those kids. The other thing that I thought they did well, like that kid, not that kid, the kid you were just talking about, the rollerblader one, the big kid, I thought that they would be part of the group longer. So they I didn't think that the group of kids that made it as long as they did were going to be that exact group of kids. I thought that they did some good misdirect there where I was pretty sure that these other kids would survive at least for a bit longer until the end or something.
I agree with that. One thing else I will say about this movie, it was not particularly predictable. I didn't really like, oh, I saw that coming. It was a lot of it was like shit happens and I really don't care that it's happening. But I wouldn't say predictable was an adjective I'd use to describe this movie.
Yeah, they killed off Danny's character a little earlier than I thought they were going to. Also, I didn't really have a problem with Eli and Danny as the main two. I thought that they were both kind of likable, but it was just, I just go back to Superbad. I'm like, this is just a worse cast for the Superbad, duo.
I didn't like Danny. I thought he was too much. They're trying to make him the likable friend character, and he was way too over the top. He was overacting like crazy, and I wasn't a fan.
I just really enjoy people with Australian accents, so it's a special place in my heart forever. You knew something was going to happen because he was way too close to the door. So I did see that coming, but I was surprised that they killed him off that early in the movie because that was about the midpoint in the movie. So
yeah,
I wasn't shaking up so much.
Yeah.
Little known fact, actually, Jonah Hill was a producer on this.
Yeah,
movie.
I did. I saw that as the credits were.
Like, how did he blatantly allow his own movie to be ripped off like that?
He's going to make money and he doesn't have to do anything.
I guess so. Yeah. Good old.
Or he got made a producer because of that. Maybe.
I understand what the parallels you're drawing with Superbad because it did feel a lot like it, but it wasn't Superbad. This was a robot killing people movie, which was not a real big part of Superbad.
Right. Obviously, I'm not referencing that part. Right. But the whole first half of the movie was the exact same storyline.
The second part is, but that is the exact same storyline of a lot of movies about high school. Sure. Superbad is part of that kind of genre, right? So this is like another movie like that.
It was just the exact
but
same.
But it hits the same beats. I'm gonna just agree with Jesse here because it starts out with the two friends that are losers and they're like, one of them wants to go to a party, the other one doesn't really want to. They go out, they're out and about. The other kids that they like to have a crush on want to get alcohol. We have that whole scene,
but it's dazed and confused before it was Superbad. This is like a genre of, this is just one of them. It's like, yeah, it feels like Superbad. It also feels like Dazed and Confused. It also feels like several other movies from the 80s.
Right. It's a common plot line, but you can match scene for scene with a lot of these things. The convenience, the interaction in the convenience store, the interaction at the liquor store, the interaction at the bus stop. Like you just have nonstop scenes that are like copy and paste from Superbad and maybe Dazed and Confused too. I don't think I've seen that one, but yeah. Anyways, we can move on from that point. It was just very very in your face the entire time. I also liked the kid who was kind of an asshole, the long hair. I think it was CJ in the movie. I enjoyed his character too. Like you brought up, like I wasn't really expecting him to be in the mix. He was like the bully. He was like a bully.
The one who died from the rollerblading and grinding on the basketball.
Yeah. Yeah, the kid from Stranger Things.
You liked that character?
I thought it was all right. He did it. He played it well. Is he from Stranger Things?
Yeah. So he's he basically played the exact opposite character in Stranger Things. He's the guy that's at the pizza delivery shop with the long hair that has the van.
I remember.
Yeah. Super nice kid in that, but also a stoner.
Yeah, he might. Stoner. Yeah, I kind of conceded this to Rob earlier too. Like he might have been doing a good job. Just he was so unlikable. Then he was like roped in, or he was kind of like mixed in with all these other unlikable characters that I just dismissed them all as unlikable.
I think maybe mix him up with someone else. On his IMDb, unless I clicked on the wrong person, his IMDb doesn't even have Stranger Things listed.
I will find.
I think he might just look like someone from Stranger Things.
He might.
I'm talking about Daniel Zolgadri.
Maybe. I don't know.
We'll debunk this later.
We should debunk it.
No. Oh, we're talking about Eduardo Franco was the guy I was talking about.
Oh, okay. We're talking about different characters.
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, I don't know who you're talking about then, Jesse.
He played CJ in the movie.
Who was CJ?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think he was the guy with the long hair.
No, that was Eduardo.
Franco. This was one of the. This was one of the rapper kids. He was with the group of bullies, but he wasn't. I don't think he's the one you're thinking of.
Yeah, Eduardo Franco is the one you're talking about, Jesse.
Okay,
for sure.
Yeah, this is one of the. So there was the.
Oh, you're right.
There were 4 of them, right? There was the the Limp Bizkit girl. There was the rollerblading guy. There was this guy.
Oh yeah. He drove like the pizza van or whatever in
Yeah.
Stranger Things. Okay, yeah, we're on the same page now.
Yeah.
I think the girl that played the Slipknot girl, I thought she was good too. We had people that dressed exactly like that. Like in terms,
Sure. Like, what was good about that character?
because you said that they didn't remind you of anyone like when we were growing up, and I
I
feel
don't
like
think I said that. I think I said that they all
did.
felt like caricatures of
Oh.
these genres of, because a lot of it is like, yeah, there was the rocker kids, there was the rapper kids, and like it was like that era was so heavily influenced by music of the time, right? 1999 music, which this movie did kind of encompass, and they did kind of get it right in that aspect, but it didn't none of them felt authentic. They all felt super exaggerated, like just caricatures of those people, which is fine if it was actually funny, but it wasn't funny, I thought.
I agree.
Well, I thought that scene that I brought up with the rollerblading, I liked how abrupt that was and how off, like how it caught me off guard.
I agreed with that, yeah.
And then I thought they tried to do it like 2 or 3 more times in this movie, and I'm like, you can't just keep going back to that well.
Mhm.
Like, and I thought that was a problem with this movie, and I don't even have specific examples. I just remember I should have wrote it down. I usually do, but I just, while I was watching the movie, I'm like we're just doing that again. We're just doing the thing again. I thought another problem with this movie is the very end when they're doing like the robot assimilation for the parents and stuff,
Mhm.
and his dad gets hit with it, like the chip in the head.
Yep.
I thought that should have come back, like that he did get like the chip in the head, and that should have played some role in later or something. I don't know, like you just did it for no reason.
Yeah,
felt
I kind of, so like I feel like the little, not really a callback, but like the little thing that they left us with, like the little cliffhanger thing they left us with at the end, that tiny little twist with her thing, that kind of like implies that something's going to go down, and you could think about it and be like, oh shit, these people also have that shit in their head. They could, but I agree with you. They should have done that as the cliffhanger, not just a stupid little. I thought that little end twist thing was stupid.
Yeah, they should,
You know,
instead of
great.
doing that, they should have shown the dad's eyes, like because they showed that whole thing with the eyes. That's the way I would have ended it if I was them.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch the cutscene after the credits?
Like at the very, very end, because I watched the
music video.
Yeah, the music videos.
That was pretty dumb.
I hated it.
Was
there a post credit roll?
No. I think it was just that.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, it was stupid. It was just I can't remember his name in the movie now, but the bigger kid, he was
I did see
the whole
that
song music video.
Yeah, I did see
that. Just cringy.
Any other kills that you guys enjoyed in this?
So they were creative.
I like the CD kill.
The CD kill was pretty
good. I thought that looked good. Fitting. Also thought it was fitting for the character. Though my favorite one I've already brought up, but yeah, I like that there was, because you would feel like in a movie like this that the kills would be held back. So I thought that was good about this movie, where they were just full on gory and went crazy with it. So like, good for them for doing that at least.
But yeah, that's about it though for positives on this one. It's I don't know. You guys want to hop into some ratings?
Yeah,
let's do it. I'm gonna give this a 2.7. I think it's a little better than average. I think there's a lot of negatives that bring it back down. I think you have to be a very certain age group to watch it, which is, I can't even think of another movie like this. Like, because even kids' movies have some redeeming stuff for adults when they're watching it. Like,
yeah, that's actually a credit for that observation. I didn't even think of that. That's very true, though. Like, this movie is for us, and we don't like it. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's strictly for us. I mean, and like there are period movies that are done where you can go and watch like The Outsiders or something like that, and it doesn't matter what time frame it's set, because you can still draw stuff from it. This movie, though, it relies heavily on you had to be there, which I just don't think is good. Even though it's technically for me, just think it's bad for a movie. Like it just doesn't. like overall, like it just doesn't do anything for your audience. Nobody else wants to go see it. So I'm gonna give it, I think it's still watchable. So I think it's a 2.7 for me.
Yeah, I got this one at a 2.4. I thought it was overall not enjoyable. Paced terribly, written poorly, acted pretty poorly. The kills were fun. A lot of them were like, dude, just kick that thing. Like, kick the little car over. It's rolling towards you so slowly. But I don't know. It was meant to be a ridiculous movie, but it was, for all the reasons I listed earlier, just not a great movie, I would say.
Yeah,
The fire kill was fun too, by the way.
The fire kill was fine. Yeah, and a lot of these kills were like good enough. They're not enough to save the movie. They weren't great. It wasn't like they were all right. They weren't. It's not like a movie that were like some of the Friday the 13th movies were really, really bad, but the kills are really, really good. So I kick it up a couple extra points just for that. This one, they were all right. So I can't really rate this more than a 2.3 because I really didn't have a good time until Fred Durst showed up. That was
right.
It was funny towards the end a little bit, but like the rest of the plot of the movie sucks in the background. Like Fred Durst is doing his thing, but the movie plot's still sucking ass while Fred Durst is being funny.
Also, this just vague, oh, you're good with computers, you can hack into this thing. It's just so stupid. I was watching the Wet Hot American Summer TV series that they came out with, and I was actually just watching that like yesterday, and they had this one scene in that where they go into the camp cook, who's the best character in the history of cinema, and they're like, we know you used to be in the military. We need you to hack into the government computer database. And he's just like, okay. And like, that was pretty much it. Like it's just such a vague thing. Like, hey, we need you to do this because we need to find out about this.
He's the character who speaks in sexual innuendos, right?
Yeah, he talks to a can of vegetables and stuff. Yeah. They actually gave a backstory to that in the show. The show actually wasn't great. It has like a great cast. I think it's like the entire original cast, but they're playing like high school camp counselors, so they're still like they're it's clearly a 45-year-old actor playing an 18-year-old, which is
but it's even funnier because it's supposed to take place before the first movie, so they were already doing that joke in the movie where it was like 40-year-olds playing camp counselors, and now it's a prequel and everyone's 20 years older, so they're all like 55 playing that.
Oh dude, it was funny. Like, I don't know why, like I kind of lost interest after a couple episodes, but for no reason. It's actually a pretty good comedy.
Didn't they replace Bradley Cooper in the show because they only had him for like 2 days? So like he just shows up and they have like someone else play his character for a little bit or something.
Oh, I don't know. I'm still early enough in the series where it's still Bradley Cooper, but I mean, he's a busy guy, so that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
But Paul Rudd he is absolutely hilarious in that show. Absolutely hilarious. Anyways, God, I wish we were reviewing that instead, but we're not. So I think that'll pretty much do it. Huh?
Yeah, I was in the middle of saying that I really did not enjoy this movie and I wanted it to be over. So I can't really. The whole time, I just wanted it to be over. So I can't rate it higher than 2.3. Is my closing statement.
Nice. Well, I guess we're going to do the Fanatic next.
Sounds good. Hell yeah.
It's like what we have to do. So make sure that you watch that before our next horror movie review. I've been Rob. That's Dave and Jesse. Leave your score in the comments if you've watched this movie. We will catch you next time. Peace.